Because it's a comedy where laughter writes the melody, with goofy gags and pratfall tags and punchlines flying faster than the flags. Silly faces, weird embraces, nothing's quite as freeing as a comedy.
Citizens, I am Captain Commitment, sworn defender of pledges, guardian of honor, human embodiment of I said I would and so I shall until the heat death of the universe. I once promised my neighbor I'd alphabetize her spice rack, by scent, in reverse chronological order, while hopping on a pogo stick, in a tornado. And now the spices have unionized. They're demanding dental benefits.
I cannot identify them.
I promised my nephew we'd play Monopoly. 2 weeks ago, Baltic Avenue declared independence. The railroads have started a hostile coup. Community Chest launched a Kickstarter to overthrow me. I cannot leave. I cannot break a promise. I promised Mrs. Penelope I'd taste every ice cream flavor in the world, including flavors that scream when you touch them, like Ghost Pepper Glitter Explosion and Pickled Sardine Sundae. My tongue has applied for asylum in Canada. I cannot break a promise. I promised to teach a pigeon Shakespeare. He now has an agent, a podcast, and is negotiating a Netflix special. The other pigeons are forming a dramatic rebellion, chanting lines from Hamlet demanding royalties. I cannot break a promise. I promised my dentist I'd floss every tooth for a year, and compose interpretive dance routines about it. My teeth are filing restraining orders. My gums have unionized. I cannot break a promise. I promised my cat I'd write him a memoir. He's now a literary influencer. The dog next door demanded a sequel. The hamster filed for a trilogy. I cannot break a promise. I promised my coworker I'd judge a chili cook-off, blindfolded, underwater, while riding a unicycle, during a tornado. The peppers are chanting my name. I cannot break a promise. I promised to attend a 3-day conference on staplers. I am now president of the International Stapler Enthusiasts Club. The staplers have formed a parliament. They are debating whether to annex my apartment. I cannot break a promise. I promised my grandmother I'd knit her a scarf every day, for the next 20 years, with sequins, in outer space, while juggling flaming pineapples. The yarn is alive. It whispers my name in the dead of night. I cannot break a promise. I promised my neighbor I'd water her plants every day. They've grown sentient. They're negotiating better working conditions. I cannot break a promise. I promised my barber I'd sculpt my hair into a new style for every holiday. For eternity. My head has 12,000 holiday hairstyles. Each one is filing patents. I cannot break a promise. I promised my librarian I'd alphabetize all the overdue books, backwards, using ancient Greek phonetics, while hopping on one foot. I cannot break a promise. I promised my parrot I'd sing all verses of the national anthem in every language, every day. The parrot now critiques my intonation and has started a YouTube channel. I cannot break a promise. I promised my yoga instructor I'd hold a tree pose until enlightenment. I am now rooted into the floorboard. My toes have developed their own consciousness. They want vacation days. I cannot break a promise. I promised my dentist's cousin I'd organize a flash mob at 3 a.m. in Antarctica for penguins. The penguins are forming a union and demanding royalties. I cannot break a promise. And even if I wanted to, even if I tried, I cannot break a promise because I promised not to. And that promise is also binding to other promises that I made last week in my sleep to a squirrel that wanted a refund on its acorn deposit.
I cannot break a promise.
Thank you, Captain Commitment. You're a real hero.